We are live with the Senex Short Track Championship Series. Weekly little wrap up we do, kinda. You should know the deal by now. I get sent the replays, and I'm doing something different this week. So as you see, we'll kind of fast forward through practice a little bit. But the better I get with this, the more I understand the files. So right at the end of the year, it doesn't matter anymore. That's when I'll have it all figured out. But okay, now notice you're going to see the lap times change. Here's people going by there. Kincaid went to a 15.98. Now you notice it's not his best time. So when I don't, fast forward the replay here or the practice, I can get accurate live time. So like I said, there's going to be little things that I kind of figure out here as we go on. And hopefully it makes the heat races, the lineups, look correctly as well here when I pace around like this. But one thing I did want to notice, or highlight I should say, not necessarily note, so the guys took my advice here. So Casey got his picture there, the Murfreesboro, Tennessee. That was already there, I believe, but he had put some more out. And he didn't get there yet, but look, Frank Barbary, Daytona Beach, Florida. Man, I wonder what the weather's like down there today. It's beautiful up here. I got to go to 2 PA Speed Week races this week, so man, I have been a happy camper. Ryan Tiffany out of Hoffman, North Carolina. Look, Buffalo Trace Distillery, Grey Goose Vodka. On that puppy, we got Sean McLean, Baxter, Minnesota. Now, it should be Minnesota, okay? I think it's Minnesota. Maybe geography not my best here. See, Quinn, he's going to do me a favor. Now, Chanhassen. Chanhassen, Minnesota. But he did mess up. He wasn't with the abbreviations. So I'm going to help my boy out. No, he needs it. Quinn, putting the whole state here. Let's see who else we got out on the racetrack. Joey, my man Joe Canellis, he's got his now Bristow. Okay, he's got that. I can't remember the state. I want to say Joe may be. No, that's Joe Halter out there. Well, I think Joe Canellis is a West Coaster as well, I think. Scott Tice, the top man. He doesn't have it filled out. We got Rob Cassidy, Nick Alpine, Florida. At 68, a lot of Florida Gators. Then we got Chris Reinhold, the warrior from up north. A man who knows how to troop the cold. At 71, a Chris Reinhold. Have to see, he looked pretty good last week. Right now, middle of the charts there on the practice times. But you're hearing those beeps in the background. My apologies. See, we're going to have all these errors. I wanted to look at someone's Steam information before I kick this thing off, and it, of course, wouldn't show it to me because I have my streaming software running. And now we need to figure out where in these settings. So we will actually, like I say, I told you last week, man, I get paid the same. Roll this at whatever pace I want. So we'll let this practice go a little bit here. We'll see if I can post you guys up. Maybe, let's do the aerial. Back of the pits. See him loop around. We'll get rid of this here. And I am going to find that in my settings, so as guys in the many Discord leagues that I'm in, they will be writing each other absolutely all day. See if we can't get the streamer mode back on. Okay, I found it. That went way faster, actually. actually, than I thought it was gonna. And we're back. We're good as gold. See, so those last times, I still have it on last times. You can see right now, track maybe is slowed down a little bit. There's guys are starting to do a longer tire run. Give you anything, just shows the gap. Right now, Tice, I mean, yeah, that is a quick lap. 4/10 of a second ahead. We're 3.5 really ahead of Keith Kincaid, who has just kind of been dominating here on the asphalt side so far this season. So may have a little changing of the guard here, so to speak. And I did also mention, I apologize, I wanted to try to give us a little more realistic aspect here with the replay file. But I didn't get a chance to zoom out my TV too. I don't like them all zoomed in. I like to see some side-by-side action. TV one, you know, that's fine. That's fine. Yeah, TV two, you gotta have it zoomed out a little bit. I actually changed TV one by accident. So now TV two will be my zoomed in one here. As we roll out the rest of the night. That's gonna be a, you know, that one may get me a little bit here. So we may hop around different views that we're not necessarily used to here at first. I told them anyways the plan was to go at noon, so I started this thing up a little early to give me some playtime. Mess around with some different things, but I don't think anyone else is gonna join up here. Did we get a chance to see? Did Ben fill that out? Nope. Dave Brill, nope. No problem. No problem. Just trying to give the guys their love here when they're out there on the racetrack. Bob, not out there either. Trying to think of some other guys that I maybe didn't click on. Greg. Oh, Greg, come on. Greg's coast to coast. You should know. You should fill it out. Gary, you too. No Gary Offit either filling it out. Oh, you guys. You guys. It's Keith Kincaid. Rolls it around here. Like I say, I told them noon, so I want to go back. They want to watch some of the practice. You can slowly see here how I am evolving. And I'm going to have, these things figured out. I'll map out a certain time. I realize this is something else I probably didn't do. You can see, yep, scenic group. I always forget to do that to my starting line. I don't want that to jump around as it rolls through. They normally don't go the whole practice time. From what I've seen before, they'll advance a little early. But like I say, you can see the times jumping around now. Keith Kincaid at the top of the charts. Maybe guys went in there and got the new tires. Let's actually... the last times. Well, now they're back in the 16th, so they maybe went out for those quick pushes. You see Lemieux there with a 1588. That's actually his fastest lap. So Lemieux finding the speed late when it really matters. And of course, when I use my SDK fast forward, you can see that is slow fast forward. This is fast forward. Fast times 4 forward, as some would say. No, this is 16. Oh no, what am I doing? This is 16 times as fast. Yeah, we'll find the sweet spot. I'll probably start to load this thing up a little earlier. See, there you can see. That's exactly what I was talking about. They advanced it with like 4 minutes left, so it's kind of a funky number. I don't exactly know when to bring that up, but we'll find their sweet spot here. We should. Greg Parmalee. Taking this 04 machine, pulling it out on the racetrack. Let's see what Greg can do here. Greg gonna bring it into 1 and 2. Gonna rope it right around the bottom here. You want to do that. You want to float up to the outside wall. You really gonna gain speed that way. Overdrove the entry though of turn 3. Greg Parmalee may not be as good as he wanted it here. 16.20, still quick at the top of the charts out of the first 3 guys. Benjamin Gunther right now was slotted second. He just got bumped way back to 5th here as the man out of Daytona Beach, Florida. Or no, he's McAlpine, Florida, excuse me. Yeah, there we go, McAlpine, Florida. Bob Cassidy at the top here. Not Bob either, Rob. I have a buddy that I went to school with, Rob. Robbie. Well, I probably shouldn't throw his last name out there. You always call him Bobby every now and then, and it's kind of just the thing I have a tough time breaking is Cassidy right now at the top of the charts. Reinhold parks at P4. Let's watch this man. He has been an absolute stunner here in this 17 machine. Let's watch the zoomed out view. You can see really how far he floats up, angles down, maybe not as low as he would have liked there on the entry, slides up, loses the rear end, a little purple green. You know what that's gonna mean. Keith Kincaid, P1 with a 15.87. Edges out Rob Cassidy. And the Cheetos machine maybe shake the hot dust off. Find some more speed this time through 3 and 4. The answer's no. Gonna slow her down. Didn't need it. Still at the top of the charts, Keith Kincaid. Sean McLean pulls out here. He is on lap number 1. What's the time sheet gonna look like for Sean? E13 with a 16.24, not the lap Sean would have liked. Plenty of room for improvement here. This Mac Daddy 22, what's it going to be as we roll off of 4, cross the line. Sean McLean moves up the P11 with a 16. 1-2, Mike Lemieux. He's one of the guys found speed late in practice here. Maybe, went out with that new set of tires. Well, you can see the speed on the racetrack. Purple through sector 1. That's quickest out of anybody. Green through 3 and 4. Welcome to the pole. Mike Lemieux takes that 40 piece, parks it on the top shelf. And man, oh man, gets a little loose there. Lap number 2. Ain't going to need it. Everybody's put their times down except Scott Tice and Brian Tiffany. Not too sure if we'll see laps out of those two. 14 out of the 16 have put a time in, and this man parks it on the top step here. Going to lead us off. When we get ready to go play, and you can see there, checkered flag will wave a little bit because, it's got the rim done for the first guy, but I don't know how long this will last. So let's see here. See if it looks like he's going to break his wrist waving the flag that fast. Well, you know what time it is. Not that time here. It's this time. Starting grid time. Take a look here at the rundown before we get ready to go play 100 laps at the South Boston Speedway here in Virginia. Row 8 to the outside, the 24 of Scott Tice to the inside, the 35 of Brian Tiffany. Row 7 to the top shelf, the double nickel of Benjamin Gunther to the inside, the 42 of Gary Hoffman. Row 6 to the outside, the double deuce of Sean McLean to the inside, Blackjack Quinn McLean. Row 5 to the outside, the double 8 of Dave Brill to the inside, the 26 of Frank Barbary. Row 4 to the top shelf, the 1 of the dog, Joe Canellis to the inside, the double 4 of Bobby Belshaw. Row 3 to the outside, the 71 of Chris Reinhold to the inside, the 04 of Greg Parmalee. Row 2 to the outside, the 17 of Keith Kincaid to the inside, the 01 of Ed Papineau. Row 2 to the outside, the 68 of Rob Cassidy. To the inside, your quick time, Mike Lemieux in the 40 machine as we get ready to go dance here. 100 laps at the South Boston Speedway. It is about that time to play. Who you got? Let us know now. I'm telling you, I don't know. Well, I really don't know, but if you're putting it to my head, you're forcing me to choose. That 17 has yet to lose. I'm going with Keith Kincaid here, man. If you're forcing me to take one, which no one's forcing me to take one, I forced myself to take one because the pace car's pulling off. There's 100 laps to play. The green flag's high. It's ready to fly. We're underway in South Boston, Virginia. Good jump there from Mike Lemieux, able to go up, just shut that door on Bob Cassidy, who now tries to keep that outside momentum. Pinch down the 01 of Ed Pappy. Couldn't do it through 3 and 4. Pappy to P2. Cheetos, man, just watching the dust fly ahead of him here inside. Can't work to the back of the 68 here, but Chris Reinold drove it in a little deep there on the bottom. You can see him maybe slide up the racetrack, hoping to slide the right front that hard, that early as the 55 of Benjamin Gunther goes around, and that should bring out our first caution here. Now the first caution comes out, but he's going to be stuck a lap down. I would think caution flew really late there. We'll see if that was, maybe get some help. No, he's just going to get loose. We saw guys get loose in qualifying on lap 2. That was lap 2. This one out front says no caution, no caution, no caution, caution. See the lights come on the outside. Not what you want when you're the leader. No choice. We'll see if we can't kick this into fast forward here a little bit. As you see the 55 able to get around that time. That's good for the 55 because, realistically, he could have lost another lap. Man, that would not have been good there for the 55. He gets back here, going to still be a lap down. Gary off at a lap down as well. Maybe went down pit road. Not too sure what the deal is, but the green flag waves. We're back underway. Mike Lemieux. Ooh, look at the battle here for third. Keith Kincaid is kind of doing there what I expected Cassidy to do on that opener when I said he was going to pinch him down. He didn't. He decided against it. And now you see that 17 machine. He's using it to his advantage. Not going to play around. Moves on up to third. No, it's going to be difficult to pass here at the bull ring. That is South Boston Speedway. You got to almost rough the guy up in front of you, move him up out of the lane, or just wait for him to miss. And Frank Barbary in that 26 is trying to find a way around the 04 of Greg Parmley right now, but Greg seems to have smoothed it over here. Got it back together. Greg on the move here. He's extended that gap a little bit by about a tenth and a half since we switched to him. Let's check back on what's going on up front. Nothing much. Happy just running in the tire tracks here of the 40 of Lemieux. No rush, plenty of time, but when you get back here to the 1 of Joe Canellis, that's when you want to say, hey, 100 laps, plenty of time. You saw we had the caution. We've only been green flag racing here for probably 3 or 4 minutes. We're on lap 13, so this is going to go quick. Maybe not as long of a race as you initially thought when you looked at the schedule and you said 100 laps, man, that's going to be a long one. Well, not really. These guys know how to do the dance, and they're going to tiptoe it here in the first couple laps. Make sure we take it easy. gloves may start to come off here a little later as Greg Parmalee got the line coming behind him because he's caught the 44 of Bob Belshaw and just hasn't been able to find a way around. So this is going to be kind of, the first, let's say, train cars starting here. This is Bob Belshaw. You watch behind. Guys just trying to search, look around. That's Greg Parmalee maybe trying to hit that apex a little early, trying to use that yellow line to rotate the car center off, maybe help him gas it up, find a run. But right now, you can see he can get close, but can't get there. It's just going to be what you're kind of dealing with tonight. Is the 55 going to get high and out of the way? That's Benjamin Gunther. Greg Parmalee, he had to kind of back off there and not worry about making a move. And now you see, I think Joe Canellas and Dave Brill make a little contact there coming out of 4. It was, you see that 1K machine working the inside. Dave Brill now that able to get around. Oh no, that was another lap car. So Gary Offit just pulling up out of the way, letting the leaders play. See Ed Papineau running around P2 right behind your leader, Mike Lemieux. Let's go off the nose of Mike. You can see pretty clear track here for a while. Nothing really coming up. You can hear him there. I wanted to go behind. You could hear him kind of squeal the tires a little bit. Mike slipping and sliding here. We're only on lap 22. Don't want to be doing that here. We got a long ways to go. See, he goes down there, he clips that yellow line. It's going to help him rotate a little bit. But the later on in this run we get, the slippier that's going to get down there. It may feel like somebody left a banana peel. You can hear there he did a good job of when he hits that yellow line, not really using the throttle. Going to just carry that speed in and make sure you don't want to give it too much gas down there on the paint. You upset the balance. Maybe you don't have the grip you're used to. That's when you're going to loop or go around as Rob Cassidy all alone here in P4, that 68 R&D Ranch machine. He's got 1.75 ahead, 1.5 behind. Rob Cassidy just kind of in his own little world here as Chris Reinold trying to run him down in that 71. First real battle on the racetrack is going to be between Bobby Belshaw and Greg Parmalee, who maybe uses that nose a little bit to get to the inside. Greg Parmalee going to muscle himself around that 44. Here comes Frank Barbary trying to get a little piece of the pie here. Shoves his nose down underneath, slides up. Little contact, the 44 of Bobby B. Gets a shot from behind twice. Going to loop around, and that should be caution number 2 here this evening. It is. We saw it happen live. Won't rewind to go back to that. You can see Bobby minding his own business there, running the middle. Just gets a shot from Barbary. A little loose, trying to save it. Comes back down the track. Gets a big shot in that left rear. And there was no saving it for that 44 machine. Bobby Belshaw, tough break. Now, watch up front. Any leaders thinking about coming down pit road? The answer is heck no. Track position, track position. And speaking of track position, man, this 17 of Keith Kincaid. Wouldn't be surprised to see him take advantage. Maybe, inside row number 2, if he can get a good start here. Find a way to muscle around Pappy. You got to do it quick. You saw him on that last restart. Use the outside to his advantage. Let's see what he can do now on the inside. He's maybe willing to flip the coin. Go up there, pressure that guy who wasn't willing to pressure him. This is going to be a big moment if he can get a good drive off your leader, Mike Lemieux. The lights are off on the pace car, so we should get ready to go back this time by here, unless they decide to throw a little change up on us. Lights still off. Green flag displayed. That means we're going back to play here. We're almost a third of the way through. Lap 32, set to go underway as we're back. Mike Lemieux drops the hammer. Let's keep an eye on this battle for a second. Kincaid tried to drive it in there, couldn't do it. Cassidy going to lose another one here as we got contact behind. No caution flag. That's between Greg Marmley and I believe Frank Barbary in the 26 it was. Man, they're going to continue. Can't believe we didn't maybe get a caution flag there. The skill of these drivers did not make that worse than that was. Great save by those two because, I mean, it looked bad. It was bad, but, man, it could have been much worse. As Mike Lemieux feeling Pappy breathing down his back here. This is the closest Papineau's been. I mean, obviously, restart going to help that. We haven't really seen Lemieux tug at the leash here. If anything, Papineau's kind of pulling in the slack here. Doesn't want the 40 to go anywhere, but the closer he gets to the rear end, Mike Lemieux, the more aero tight he's going to get. You know, the front end's going to raise up in the air. You don't get that air downforce that you're used to. You're working those front tires a little more, and well, you'll feel it about 20 laps or so. You feel good as gold right now because, well, you let the tires cool off. You let them come back to you. Now we see the 01 kind of slide the right rear there on corner entry. And that's where, you know, maybe cranking the wheel a little too extra. Maybe under braking, unsettling the race car. Lots of stuff can happen. And, man, all happens so fast that it's happening behind that one. Joe Canella is another guy still on the move who's got it up to 7th with the real mover. Guy in front of him at 88, Dave Brill, who's gets a little slideways there through 3 and 4, doesn't get on the exit. Now the 88 man, he may become the next victim here to the dog. Joe Canella's. Joe maybe let him by early. Said, hey man, I know you're gonna maybe ruin those vocal cords barking this hard early. I'm going to save a little bit of my bark for the end here. And he is running them down, and we've got the top 3 just under that blanket. Keith Kincaid wondering how he's going to pick off 2, let alone 1, as we inch closer and closer to this halfway point. Jackie Robinson as we're on lap 42. Papineau right there, man. I know you guys love when I go throughout the rest of the field, and I'm trying to do that a little bit here this evening. This battle right now, I mean, this is ridiculous. They have not gone away. I thought Papineau maybe, well, there is the mistake. Loses the rear end a little bit off of 4. That allows that hot Cheetos machine. Oh, he tried to go down in there, man. Just a little too hot, needed a drink of water. Slides back in line in 3rd, but Papineau, man, oh boy. I don't know how many chances you're going to get when you got Kincaid behind you, just absolutely seething, man, like a rabid dog back there. Just one more, once another win. It's just, I think 2 in a row, that'd be good, but it's not enough for this 17. He just wants more and more. That's why Keith's one of the best here. Trying to find a way around as we come lap 47 this time. 3 laps away from halfway here in Virginia. Oh, let's go up top here. Let's see. Oh, we got a car on the inside. Brian Tiffany. Late caution flag once again. Let's kind of see how it happened. Ooh, he gets a little bit of help there from the double deuce that is Sean McLean. Well, actually, let's Let's go off Sean McLean's nose here. We'll slow her down. I mean, he may have been a little thirsty. Gets into this Grey Goose machine. There's some Blue Moon on there, too. Nowhere for that. Or excuse me, nowhere. Nothing Brian Tiffany could really do there. I mean, he even entered in a little high, left some room. This wasn't enough room. As the caution flag flies, and we should we do not want sounds on. I'm glad they weren't talking. We do not want that red button on. One curse out away from that being really bad. But these guys behave. Played pretty good from what I've seen. But yeah, don't. That's caught me before. Don't want to get caught now. As the lights are off, so we'll get ready to go back racing this time. Green flag's high, ready to fly. Can Keith Kincaid find a way around here on the outside? Not a good restart. He immediately falls right back into second, but the battle on. Oh, Barbary, he bounces down off the outside wall, gets into the 71 of Reinhold. Couldn't tell if he maybe had help getting into the wall. Only saw the aftermath of that, but and that 26, he has been bounced around here tonight. This South Boston Speedway has not been nice here to Frank Barbary, but he's still somehow up 4 spots. Scott Tice here, he's up 6 spots. Started 16th, up to 10th, the 24 machine. Just got that Moza thing rolling real well. I run a Moza wheel myself. Hopefully he has a Moza. I mean, I guess it doesn't matter, but you'd think in Moza they should hook the man up. Sponsored him on here. Just promote every week. This Papineau, he is just a dog right now. We've been used to Kincaid. Oh, look at that! No way did he do that for me. Keith Kincaid, I did not notice that. What a G move, man. Slapping on my logo like that. That is really cool. I appreciate that. We are going to be running in this camera a lot this season. It's Keith, man, doing all he can here to hold off Papineau. I definitely, you go back and you watch this before, I mean, Pappy might be a little ticked. He says, man, this Shaggy guy, he's saying, what can Kincaid do to get around me? It might have been Pappy who was kind of stuck there behind the 40, because now, I mean, Kincaid got around him. He has been just there hunting, trying to find a way around, just barking. And he is that annoying dog next door on the other side of the fence. He just won't go away. Kincaid hasn't really been able to pull in Lemieux here. So Keith, man, this is a situation we haven't seen him in many times this season. Mike Lemieux right now, the man out front, looking good. Rob Cassidy, he qualified second, but he has fallen down to 7th. He had the 1-lap pace, but the race pace just hasn't been there for him here tonight in this 68 machine. He's trying to work around that 88 of Dave Brill. Looks like the top off the 2, can't build up the run. Dave Brill looking good coming off a 4 in that 88. All this happening behind Frank Barbary, and they got a little bit of a lap car in between them. Sean McLean. So Barbary, he's looking like he's got a good firm grasp here on that top 5, and you can't relax. I don't want to let those guys reel you in too quick, but right now if we stay green, he's got to be feeling pretty confident about the way the race is looking for him. And Scott Tice just got by Bobby Belshaw here. He moves that thing up 7 spots now into 9th. Good run for Scott Tice. Joe Canella's the next car up the road, and you can see there's a lap car in between him and I believe Rob Cassidy, and that is the 21 of Quinn McLean. Rob Cassidy, man, look at him trying to cut a rug underneath Dave Brill here. There's a little contact. Oh, man, Davey Boy able to save it. Cassidy going to drive it in low here on the entry of one, and that's really going to compromise his exit. Whoa, the 88 gets a little loose in front of Robbie. And, man, Cassidy just able to let him collect it, but that was a close call here. And now he's got the 21 here, the lap car. Quinn McLean working to his outside. Quinn getting a little loose up there. Lots and lots of little rubber laying up there on the top side. Now Joe Canellis, he gets wedged on the high side. Scott Tice says, give me another one, brother. Up 8 spots. Scott Tice started 16th, man. Up to 8th, and he's got one more in front of him. Can he knock off number 9 here if he can work by Cassidy? As we go up front here, Keith Kincaid has been able to kind of walk away from Papineau a little bit. He was right there breathing down his neck. Pappy maybe drove the front tires off that thing and has to let it resettle here. As Keith Kincaid working the bottom off of 4. 31 laps to go. This time by. We've got another caution flag here. The 68 involved. See, he was turned around. Not too sure what kicked it off. We just kind of caught the end of it there. Oh, so you can see. Now, these were the guys battling for position. We mentioned Scott Tice up 8 spots. There's a little contact in front of him between Rob Cassidy and the lap car of Quinn McLean. Rob then pushes back up the track. More contact goes around in front of the 24. Who just gets a little bit of that. It shouldn't damage the car too much. See, then the 68 just trying to get turned around here. Car's got to come to a stop. Is Cassidy able to stay on the lead lap? That's going to be big for him. Very important. As, you know, we're kind of running out of time here for caution flags to help you out. I mean, obviously you can. People thinking tires starting to matter here. Mike Lemieux ducks down pit road. Keith Kincaid says, give me some of that too. Oh my Lanta. It just got hot in here. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Mike Lemieux jacks the right side up. We're going to sit right here. I'll watch it on Mikey. Let's see if they even... Mikey's getting 4. Mikey's getting 4. He might go a lap down here. I don't know about 4 tires on the short track. I mean, he was the leader, so if anybody has time, all right, he had it. But you can see the pace car was coming. Now we know how important track position is. Flamin' Hot Cheetos machine is going to have it over Mike Lemieux, but the real man right now, that 01 of Pappy. Ed Papineau out front. What can he do? Chris Reinold now finds himself on the outside of the front row as we're set to get back underway. Lap 76 is in the books now. 25 to go. Papineau with a good restart here. Let's keep an eye on the man. The guys with new tires. Joe Canellis goes around. Hard on the inside. Caution flag waves. I believe caution flag waves. It does. Okay, I finally saw the yellow lights there. I didn't see a flag waving. That would have been wild if we didn't get a caution flag there. But so Bob Belshaw is underneath, pushes up the racetrack. And Cannell has never had a chance to save it here. Tried keeping it straight. Joe Canellas. Man, that's a tough break there for Joe. That brings out, I believe, our 4th caution of the night. You can see Joe right there. That's what I meant. He goes down pit road at the end. He was at the end, obviously, because he spun out tail end of that lead lap. He goes a lap down. So that is going to be a struggle here kind of throughout the year of a car with damage. Needing to, come down pit road, ducking down. It's not going to be your friend. That's short track racing, man. That's how guys know it. That's the way it's always been. So. As we get ready to go back racing, we'll see the green flag high, man. It'll be ready to fly. We'll have a 20-lap shootout here in South Boston, Virginia. As the green flag waves, we're back underway at Papineau. Drives them off into turn 1. Keith Kincaid, let's keep an eye on that new right side tire, man. Looking like Superman. Drives to the inside of the 88 of Dave Brill. Keith Kincaid. Oh, man, he's got the cape on tonight. Stole it from Clark Kent. He is flying up through this field. Mike Lemieux, meanwhile, stuck 3 cars behind. Lemieux is watching that flaming Hot Cheetos machine drive off. He knows he's got to hurry the heck up here, man. Ain't got a lot of time. You got to use what you got. And Ed Papineau out front doing just that. 7/10 of a second up the road on Chris Reinhold. He knows that flaming Hot Cheetos machine is going to come barking here. He needs to get out front. He needs to try to extend this lead. As Keith Kincaid, a little contact. Oh, he put a little shrimp on that Barbie there. Coming out of 2, Frank Barbary. Nudged up the racetrack, still stuck on the outside. Can he go down, shut the door? The answer is no. Side by side on the entry of 1 and 2. Keith Kincaid trying to use that grip he's got as there's contact. Scott Tice goes around. The caution flag waves. Scott Tice goes around in the 24 machine. He was the hard charger. Scott Tice gets a little help here from Mike Lemieux. There's a little bit of a gap down there, but not much of one. And, it's not one that you're going to go to Racing Hill for, but definitely one I think when Mike looks back on it and watches that replay, he's going to realize, hey, maybe that gap a little too small. I know I got the new tires, but everybody kind of diamonding off the corner down there. So that's where, you expect that guy in front of you to go, but at the same time, what did Ayrton Senna say, See a gap, you don't go for it. Well, what the hell kind of racer are you? I don't think it's the exact quote. It's something pretty similar. The message is the same. As Keith Kincaid lines up here inside of row 3. Can he go run down Pappy, man? Guy who was running P2 most of the race, 3rd there for a little bit, inherited the lead after a caution flag pit stop. 11 laps to go for Ed Papineau. Kincaid, those new tires, jumps right up to P2. And man, oh man, can the 17 breathe a little fire at Pappy here? Is he hot enough in that Cheetos machine to go get it done? We got 10 laps to go here. Rolling through 3 and 4, you can see there's little marbles everywhere, man. Those are little specks of rubber. You get off the groove, you're gonna feel it. And Ed Papineau does. He slides up the racetrack coming off of 2. Ed Papineau, not what you want to see there, but old tires kind of expect it. He's got to try to seal it over, man. Got to try to hold on. Keith Kincaid just trying to look at the bottom here as we go off the nose. Oh, Papineau has my logo on there too, man. Look at you guys. I appreciate the heck out of that, man. That's super nice of you guys to go out there and do that. I'm just noticing these things. Man, now I got to have a Ed Papineau cam, something that looks at the right rear bumper. Got this Cheetos cam here, and Man, he is right there. He's as close as he can be without trying to force Pappy into a mistake here. We're coming to 5 laps to go. Can Ed Papineau hold on? This can't come quick enough for Ed Papineau as we roll through 3 and 4. 4 laps to go for the 01. Keith Kincaid right there, man. What is the 17 going to do? Tries to back up corner entry. You see him diamond off the exit. Just can't find the run, and we are freaking running out of time here. Maybe trying to force that envelope shut. Oh, Pappy does just that. Gets down there in front of the 17, but compromises the exit. And Keith Kincaid with a big-time run here. Gets the door slammed shut in his face one more time. Pappy slides up the racetrack. Keith Kincaid, he's got a nose. Oh, he backs off. He watches it go away. White flag. 1 lap to play here at South Boston. Through 1 and 2 for the final time. Papineau slides up the racetrack. Can Keith Kincaid find a run? He is running out of time. Ed Papineau sees the checkered flag coming off a 4. Reach up and grab it, and he wins at the South Boston Speedway. Keith Kincaid, P2. Frank Barbary, 3rd. Bob Belshaw, 4th. Dave Brill coming home 5th. And Scott Tice even after the spin. Or no, excuse me. He's coming home 10th. That's not the hard charger. Frank Barbary getting up into 3rd. That's the hard charger. He's up 6 spots as well. Gotta give it to the highest finisher. That's gotta be the way that. My apologies, Frankie. Getting it done here on the podium and with hard charger. And, well, you know, by now here. Well, we got to cheat and do it this way. We'll pause it so we don't hear it. But whenever I click on that first replay, that's another thing I'm going to have to stop doing. When that first caution comes out and I click on the crash, well, the software doesn't update anymore after that. So that's, you know, I'm learning the practice tricks. Well, hopefully I remember this trick as we move forward. And then, you know, I won't be able to necessarily click on them to rewind, but I'll be able, the software should cheat for me and tell me what happens. But we'll see. Looks like we only have one driver up here for this set of interviews. So let's go ahead, man. Let's pull him up here. And, well, Keith, you know, sometimes it works. Sometimes it doesn't. And, I mean, you got the right side tires. You moved your way back up through, man, but at the end of the day, it just seems like it's been what it's been all year. You get that track position, you can hold your line out front. It is tough to get around that guy.
Oh, definitely. They're so good, so consistent. You know, he ran a great race. You know, I kind of wish I wouldn't have took the tires there at the end, but you know, Mike come down the pit lane and kind of got that tire envy, one of those shiny new stickers, and you know, I just late minute uh, followed him in. Kind of wish I would have stayed out.
Yeah, Keith, you know, something I'm really impressed with you about, you know, not many guys are willing to go in there and do it, but I saw you do it twice, both restarts when you were on the outside. I mean, if you're willing to go in there and, you know, you got to play nice, you got to trust that guy on the inside, but if you're willing to go in there and, you know, sling it in there, hold that middle groove down, it seemed like if you were money on that outside for restarts tonight, man. Did you like it up there?
Yeah, definitely. The track really rubbered up real good on the outer groove, and you know, it just timing on the start and getting that good run and keeping it smooth around the corner, and was able to make that outside work on the restarts.
Well, hey man, you know the deal. Points racing, maybe not that win that you wanted so bad here, but man, close enough you could taste it. A P2 to go along with those wins so far this season. You got to be feeling pretty good about the way things are shaping up so far, Keith.
Oh, definitely. It's a long season. It's just about consistency when you're points racing. Like I said, hats off to Ed. Great race. You know, I could have gave him a little bump and run there at the end, but you know, I've got too much respect for the guys as drivers, and I want to be raced fair, and they race me fair, and it's a great group of drivers.
Most definitely, man. And when you got a season going like Jeff Gordon in 1998 here, I mean, your average finish is like second. So that's pretty impressive. You don't want to do anything to jeopardize that. Hell of a run tonight. Congratulations on the P2, man. Who you want to thank, Keith?
Appreciate it, Shaggy. Yeah, again, this Senex group, it can't say enough good things about them. They're listening to the racers, they're polling us, finding out, what we actually want in a season, in a league. And I just see big things on the horizon for this group.
Well, man, I definitely do too, and I'm not going to spoil it here, okay? But I know we got some big plans in the works, so something coming up here soon. So definitely looking forward to it, Keith. And I know, man, your racing's going to be a big part of it. So love having you out here. Love your attitude. Keep it up the rest of the season, man. Good run.
Thank you, sir. Have a good one.
Keith Kincaid, like I say, he was the only man up here for this one. So that's the only guy we're going to be talking to here after this one. But you know the deal by now. We're going to throw up our little intermission video here. We're going to load up at the dirt track. Oh, man, and it is time to go play in Sarver, PA at the one and only Lernerville Speedway. I mean, you make a mistake there, you're going out over the edge, and hopefully you can tell your mama about it. You live to, speak about it. It's a wild ride. You go over that hill. It ain't going to be nice to you. So hopefully the drivers have it together here tonight, or boy, it could get wild at Lernerville. But stick around. We'll be right back on Shaggy TV.
I'm Chris Jakimick, and I live in Las Vegas, Nevada. Throughout my military career, I spent the bulk of my career out in Las Vegas. It was the first job I had as I was protecting some sensitive resources out there at Nellis. I would deploy to Kuwait early on in my military career with a larger weaponry system to support Operation Southern Watch. And then from 2003 to 2006, I was part of the emerging drone mission for the United States Air Force and Department of Defense. We were fighting the wars in Iraq and Afghanistan from our backyard. You'd be in war for 12 hours of your shift, and then you'd drive home to your apartment here in Nevada. So psychologically, it was very odd. Like, you felt you were in the combat zone every day because you were seeing it on the screens and it was that important. But I don't know what it did to the human psyche at the time. Some things would kind of happen in my personal life after that would change a lot. When Adam joined the Marine Corps, it was a natural fit. Anybody who joins the military, especially after 9/11 happened, you're looking for that purpose. I think that's why he made the choice. It's like, let me go be a Marine. He was in between Fallujah and Ramadi during the heaviest parts of the fighting of the Iraq conflict. I mean, you hear guys like Jocko and everything talk about like the triangle of death. My brother was dead set in the middle of the triangle of death with a Marine unit. I think it changed him. Like, you look at everything across history, you read any of the books out there, war changes anybody that's been involved with it. Trauma or mass events like that changes anybody, and it really changed my brother. And I get that call. I get the text, actually, from my stepmom. It's like, I need you to call me as soon as possible. Something's wrong with Adam. All right. Didn't think anything of it. And I'm about to pull off the highway to go celebrate and have some pizza with my classmates. And she's like, Adam's dead. Adam's dead. He had died by suicide that day. 25th of July, 2017. And it changed my world forever.
I think that was the first time I saw or heard someone broke in through the phone. There was a time where I was concerned that he wasn't going to make it. There were times I thought we're going to have to camp out outside of his house, or we might get that phone call. Are we ready for that phone call?
I couldn't catch a break. A fellow first sergeant I served with, he had died by suicide. On the day of my buddy's funeral, I'm going through social media, and I see this, what appears to be a manifesto from one of my old airmen. My first thought was like, today's not going to be a good day. And sadly, my hunch was right. He had killed his own family and taken his own life on the day of my buddy's funeral. It was just compounding trauma after trauma after trauma. I cracked. I fell hard with alcohol. That was rock bottom. I first heard about Mission 22 just by like surfing the internet and looking on there and seeing some of the programs that they had available. I was like, something seems right about this. To be in a program like the R&R program with them and the innovative things that they're putting together, I have not seen in any other veteran nonprofit. It's putting all this stuff together to heal in the most effective way possible. They're making you do a lot of the hard work through reading, through audiobooks, through physical fitness, through nutrition, open discussion, critical thinking, neuroplasticity and cognitive feedback to where you're developing the brain more. It's given me a chance to regain my life. Cycling's been a big part of my recovery. Is around the time I retired, a little over a year ago, I set forth, I was like, let me set this goal to ride 2,020 miles in 2020 for another veteran nonprofit that supports Gold Star families and those lost either to accident or to suicide. Every time I got on that bike, I was like, you know what? There's a name, there's a dash that I'm gonna honor today. Not the dates on the gravestone. It's like, I'm gonna honor that life. So it gave me purpose. And it just became like a release for me to where the pedals would spin and I would get out of my head for a little bit. Physically, I was starting to feel better. I could see the improvements, and I've tracked my data over the past year, and it's phenomenal on the growth that I've had on a bike.
He's just on a mission and is relentless about it. Every day he pushes it. From the loss of his brother and a number of different trauma that he had gone through in his life, it was absolutely critical for him to find something that he could sink his teeth into. I think he's taken the ball and run with it with Mission 22, especially the R&R, the recovery and resilience part. I think it makes him stronger in the person that he is today.
I don't know why I fell on the bike. It was just like, okay, it called to me, and then I kept going. So that scene from Forrest Gump where he just starts running one day and it ends up in Monument Valley in Utah? He's like, I'm tired, I think I'll go home now. I'm not tired yet. I'm not ready to throw the towel in like Forrest Gump did. I'm getting on that bike and I'm keeping on going because there's something about it. There's something about just getting out in nature, having that breeze in your face and seeing some of the beautiful landscape here in Las Vegas where it takes you away from the stressors and the challenges of the world for a little bit. And you can just appreciate the beauty that is out there and be in the moment. And then it got serious because the Air Force enrolled me in the Air Force Wounded Warrior program and it transformed into lo and behold training. If I do this well, maybe I can go represent the Air Force. Maybe my grief and everything in my entire story can come to fruition because I can put the energy into something positive. If I made the team, I'd just be overwhelmed with emotion. I suffered a lot of my trauma because of my military service. But at the end, it's like, I gotta be grateful that I'm allowed to compete in this because there are others who didn't make it home or lost the war at home that's what it's about.
Oh my gosh, everybody! Colonel Rich Obert. Over to you, sir.
Welcome, warriors and athletes. Today we're going to announce the 2021 Air Force Team for Warrior Games. The selection was difficult as there were many hardworking and deserving individuals, and the work and dedication was apparent by all. I know the suspense is killing you, so I'll turn it back over to Marcia. Good luck to each of you. Back to you, Marcia.
All right, thank you, sir.
Starting us out from Air Education and Training Command, Major Daniel, Lieutenant Dan Cariña.
Yes, yes, yes. Air Combat Command, out of Texas, Master Sergeant Nicole Nikki Favuza.
From Valdosta, Georgia, Technical Sergeant retired Antonio Del Vecchio.
From East Liberty, Ohio, Airman retired Pete Murphy.
Technical Sergeant retired Margie Hinkle.
And coming up next, former pole vaulter, that is very similar to Blaze Bilardi, coming to you from Las Vegas, Nevada, Master Sergeant retired Chris Jackamek.
Warrior Games competitor back on the team, Staff Sergeant retired Joseph Alex Pate.
Whew.
What? He did
All right.
big things back in the day. He's gonna do big things. Coming to you from St. Hedwig,
Wow.
Missouri.
We look at Mission 22 and we see all the shirts, we see all the flags out there. I don't think enough of the people understand how big the programs actually are and how that is actually in there. And like, I'm a benefactor from the donations of these private donors that are there to allow me to live life, to improve life for not only myself, but for friends, for fellow veterans, for my children, for my girlfriend, for my family, is to be that, to say, you know what? We can keep going at the end of the day. We can keep going, no matter how hard it gets, no matter how difficult life becomes, we can keep going.
We have this value in the Air Force, this belief, a wingman concept. We're gonna take care of each other. We've got each other, and it gives us hope, right? And so if you have been knocked down, I say this a lot, by the baseball bat of life, right? You're on the ground. If you know that someone's got you, it's got your six, no matter what, that's gonna help you get back up again. And that's part of Mission 22, I think, for him. That connection, that human connection, that's what's gonna save us. Yeah, that's what saved him. He can be a light in darkness. No matter how dark that spiral is, to know that someone got back up again and navigated their way out, that they can get through it too, that they are not alone. Not for one moment of one day. That's what he could be. He could be a beacon of light.
Oh, we are back live. That's a little glitch in the replay file there. 'Cause, like I say, replays here, so hopefully no connection problems for me. Can't happen. Well, I shouldn't say can't happen. Could happen to the stream, but shouldn't happen to the file here. As we get ready to go play at the Lernerville Speedway. This place, man, so much fun, so tricky for the drivers, and we'll show you here. So turn one, let's watch them go in here. Let's watch them leave it. Different grooves. Turn three. You go right up top there. And you're gonna exit as high up on that cushion as you can if you want to maintain this speed. That's just the way you're going to have to play the Lernerville Speedway. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. If you want to win this thing, you're going to be up top at the end. I mean, a little bit of the bottom. Yeah. I would imagine if you want to win this thing, you're going to be up top here towards the end of the feature. That's where we're seeing Keith Kincaid, the guy at the top of the practice times. Right now, ripping the outside. Chris Reinhold, he had been down on the bottom, kind of fishing, but now he moved up middle through 1 and 2 there. Didn't enter in as high as possibly some guys will there. He's going to enter in the middle as well. It's definitely safer to do that, man. You know, you can't get around on it. It's just that top shelf speed, man. It's going to be unlike no other here as we get ready for go time. You know, getting ready for go time. I'm not too sure how long we'll run this here, so we'll just skip through some more of practice here. We'll use Chris. He's been out here a while. We can skip laps a little quicker. Notice that time kind of falling down, and it looked like they're going to run the full one for this, so we'll stop it here. Gonna roll off, and we should see the checkered flag wave. We did all the ugly iRacing stuff. It'll be go time. For qualifying, that is, and man, you got to keep an eye out on that 17 once again. I mean, he didn't win there in the asphalt side, but a good run, P2. But he's been good, man. Any race car he's been in, and well, we got lucky. Chris Reinhold, actually, he's going to be the first driver out of the racetrack. That's who I had selected. So let's watch that 71 of Chris Reinhold do a lap. And I'm going to be quiet here for lap 1. We're going to go trackside. Lap number 1 in the books there. He did have a purple sector 1, and he is the overall top dog here with a 14.97. Good lap time for Chris Reinhold. Let's see here. We get some more times coming in. Rob Cassidy rolls that 68 around. He comes P5. Scott Tice in the 24. He goes P1 with a 14.89. And Scotty T improved this time by purple. You know what that means. Even quicker here for Scotty T. 14.72. What a lap. Man, that is a good lap there for Scott Tice. Now Dave Brill comes across here. What did he do? 14.94. He puts it P2. Going to drive it into the pits in style there. Bob Belshaw comes across P5 for lap 1. Can he improve? Because Michael Lemanchik just knocked him down a peg. What's he got this time? Belshaw, green, yellow. It is enough to get the spot back from Lemanchik. Is Keith Kincaid coming around here? What's lap number 2 going to be here for the 17? He clipped the wall. But it was after he crossed the line with a 14.52. Keith Kincaid, big lap there. And he is going to be happy with that one as Joe Canellas comes across P4. Joe Canellas found some speed with a 14.96. Good lap there for Canellas. And now we got one guy left to qualify here. That's the 21 of Blackjack, Quinn McLean. And it looks like he's doing, if you've ever watched my broadcast before, he's going Clay Christopherson style. Just going to keep this thing straight. You know, just doing a little putt-putt, as they say here. He's not worried about going out there getting quick time. Line up here towards the tail end of the field, it's looking like, is the 21. Not really tugging on that leash. The checkered flag going to wave here, and we should get ready roll into heat race number 1. 13 drivers, so yeah, we should. I wouldn't think we would have one heat race. That would be a bit of a stretch. I think we're going to have a 7 and 6 here, but we'll see. I'm wrong a lot. You can ask my wife. So this, you just add this one here to the list, that's for sure. This thing off. Let's take a look here. Starting grid. Oh, okay. I lied. We are going to throw them all in there. Oh, no, we aren't. Okay. I see what's happening. They're giving me. Okay, this is a new one for SDK here. I didn't fast forward. So it gave me the feature lineup. Let's see if this will look. Yeah, okay. For the heat race, we're going to give up on that. Okay. We won't be doing it that way. We're going to do it my way. This is going to be the way we're going to do this. All right, rounding out the field there in the 21 machine, we've got Quinn McLean, row 3 to the outside, the 01 of Ed Papineau, to the inside, the 40 of Mike Lemieux. Row 2 to the top shelf, the 17 of Keith Kincaid, to the inside, the 88 of Dave Brill. Row 1 for heat race number 1 to the outside, the 1K of Joe Canellas. To the inside, the 27 of Michael Lemanchik. We should be going green this time by because played around long enough. It should be a 10-lap shootout here. 7 dogs ready to bark. The green flag waves. We're underway at the Lernerville Speedway. Joe Canellas trying to rip that outside cut underneath. Here's the 27 pushes up. We got contact. Joe gets muscled off the outside there by the 88 of Dave Brill. And Keith Kincaid says, thank you. Takes the lead here, lap number 1. And Keith Kincaid going to drive off into the sunset here as Joe Canellas still. He storms himself back up into 4th after that rough lap number 1. So he may have some time. Go run down here the 27 of Michael Lemanchik. Not too sure about these two up front, though, man. They are going at it. Dave Brill trying to run back down Keith Kincaid, who, well, he let Keith kind of snooker by there. You know, they do the invert of the top 4. So Keith starts outside row number 2. I mean, this is, he had to work. It wasn't going to be easy here, but the early contact made it a little easier for him. And Joe Canellas is one of the guys who, well, he maybe thinks, hey, I should be out front of this thing. Looking pretty good, and if not for some contact, Shaggy, you know, man, I got this 1K rolling, but little woulda, shoulda. As Keith Kincaid drives us off into 1, you can see here, the field kind of spread out. There's a little bit of a battle, but that's not even really a battle. It's Quinn McLean a lap down. Saw Quinn go over the edge there coming off a 2 in that orange machine. He brought it back on, but like you say, a lap down. And now Michael Lemanchik here. I thought there maybe for a little bit he was going to get run down by Joe Canellas, but now, welcome to the party. He is running down this 88 and Dave Brill. He's got 3 laps. He pushes up the racetrack there, though, and whoa, gets loose coming off, and now all of a sudden Joe Canellas, oh, Joe, hang on! Hard into the outside wall. Joe Canellas, I don't know if he's going to be able to keep rolling. He does, but man, he may lose a lap here as Keith Kincaid coming by this time. White flag waves, 1 to play here for the 17 in Sarver, PA. Keith Kincaid, no stranger to winning races, and man, right back at it here. Rolls the bottom through 3 and 4. Checkered flag wave. Give it to Keith Kincaid, followed by Dave Brill, Michael Lemanchik, Mike Lemieux, Ed Papineau, Quinn McLean, Joe Canella. We're gonna do the like I say, we won't even look at it for the heat race. I know it's gonna be the same. It'll work for the feature, but we'll do it. We'll do it the Shack. Wish I could get all those other names off your screen, but sadly, it doesn't look like they want me to be able to do that here. The sound's cutting in and out. I hear that just as well as you do. Gotta be this part of the replay file here. Just the fans. There we go. That sounds a little better. Now we get to take a look here. Starting lineup, row 3 to the outside, the double nickel of Benjamin Gunther. To the inside, the 68 of Rob Cassidy. Row 2 to the outside, the 24 of Scott Tice. To the inside, the 71 of Chris Reinhold. Row 2 to the outside, the 54 of Chris Farmer. Or row 1, excuse me, for heat race number 2. What a blunder there. And starting on the pole, the 44 of Bobby B, Bob Belshaw. So used to flicking the race thing back on, but, well, I didn't need to because I was using the leaderboard to cheat. Look back, no problems. Got 6 drivers ready to go play 10 laps here. As the green flag's high, it's ready to fly. Heat race number 2 is underway. Side by side, still for the lead. Farmer on the outside tightens up, pushes up the hill there, coming out of 4. That allows Belshaw to shut the door, take the early lead as Scott Tice gets in the outside wall. He was quick in qualifying, but looks like he suffered some right front damage here. He's going to have to call it tonight for the heat race. Bob Belshaw still trying to fend off the Farmer here. He takes a little peek low, finds some moisture downstairs. This is all allowing Chris Reinhold to just lay in the weeds here, try to run these boys down. What can Chris Reinhold do? Let's go on board with the man. Chris Reinhold taking a little peek here once again to the inside. What kind of run can he get off the corner as they're side by side? The Farmer up top trying to plow the top line down. Plow it in, I should say. Not really there yet. Guys running that middle line. We'll see it come up top here eventually. I would imagine you're seeing the 54 test the waters and really there. If he wanted to be that guy and force the issue, probably could have just made the pass from the outside. But Bob was kind of sliding up the racetrack. You don't want to force it here too early. We're only in the heat race. You finish P2, heat number 2, you're going to start for the future. So there are worser places to start. You don't want to be Farmer. Maybe get hung up in that outside wall. Fall the whole way back to P5, possibly 6. Well, not 6, as you see Tice off the racetrack. He calling it a night here in the heat race number 2 after that broken right front, not able to get back out. Bob Belshaw doing what he can do there. Reinhold gives him a little shove. Corner entry, moves him up the racetrack. Reinhold to the bottom here as they're side by side. White flag in the air. Little contact. Bobby gonna fall back to P2. Belshaw now. Does he feel it again? Here's 3 and 4. He does from Farmer. Farmer gonna lose the 2 spots though. And the spoiler as Reinhold wins heat race number 2, followed by Belshaw, Cassidy, Farmer, and Gunther. You guys know the drill by now. We'll hang out here. Let it roll through their warm-ups or whenever they decide to roll it. I'll mute myself till then, chug a little Pepsi, get back in the game, and then we'll be ready to play, so stick around. Checkered flag waves on our 2-minute warm-up session, and we get ready to go play for, I believe, I want to say 30 laps. We'll see. We'll see. Let's say 30. You know, it didn't sound that confident. That's what I'm thinking. Well, you see, sorry, I changed it to overlay.footer text because apparently that's what it says when I have nothing in there. My apologies, but I just realized I had another race title in there, and it was probably in there before, so my bad. Now we get to the correct page when we get our button to work. There we go. Man, oh man. Pulling out all the stops on me tonight. Quinn McLean rounds out the field on the inside on row number 7 in the 21 machine. Row 6 to the outside, the 55 of Benjamin Gunther. To the inside, the 01 of Ed Tapper. Row 5 to the outside, the 68 of Rob Cassidy. To the inside, the 40 of Mike Mead. Row 4 to the outside, the 44 of Bobby Belshaw. To the inside, the 27 of Mike Fernandez. Row 3 to the outside, the 54 of Chris Farmer. To the inside, the 5 of Joe Canellis. Row 2 to the outside, the 71 of Chris Reinold. To the inside, the 88 of David Brill. Row 1 for your Senex Short Track Championship dirt part here in Sarver, PA. Man, I'm so excited. Scott Tice to the outside of row 1 in the 24 and starting on the pole, the 17 of Keith Kincaid. As it is about that time to take the green flag here at the Lernerville Speedway. Look at that, 30 laps. Just been confident. As the green flag's high, it's ready to fly. Keep it on the track, boys. We're underway at the Lernerville Speedway. Oh, Lemanchik trying to find the grip upstairs, but he gets the doors shut on him there by Cassidy, who pushes up the racetrack. And Keith Kincaid to the early lead. Good luck chasing down that horse. Even if we got 30 laps to go, that's not the guy I want to be trying to run down here, man. He is just going to gallop away in that 17 machine as Rob Cassidy shuffles to the outside in the 68. He's going to lose 3, maybe 4 spots here as the 88 of Dave Brill goes around. No caution flag. Cassidy involved. No caution. We stay green for the moment. Dave Brill stuck sideways. Gonna come back down the racetrack here. Caution flag finally does wave. And Dave Brill didn't, man, he's not gonna like that one. You know, I mean, you got lots of damage here. That is, I think we have a quick repair, but, you know, that's, it's early. Be beat up like that. We're going to see it kind of starts in front of him. So the 27 of Lemanchik gets into the outside wall. Brill just, I mean, Lemanchik doesn't really come down and get into him. You know, Brill's just so quick coming off the corner. He doesn't have the time to get down there. He gets up into the outside wall. And here comes Cassidy. That's the big shot there. Cassidy then gets a little tap from Canellas. And that brings us to our first caution here at the Lernerville Speedway. Ooh. They did that one quick on me. They cut the lights off, I think, there. Yeah, I can tell. Oh, no. Okay, that was nice, though. Good on you, Joe, for throwing that caution. Yeah, that's crazy that iRacing can do that. I mean, you can, I don't know. So inconsistent. We've all seen it. And that's not like the league's fault. It's iRacing, but it is what it is. As the green flag set the wave, we're back underway at the Lernerville. Farmer pushes up the racetrack there in the 44. He's going to lose one to Tice. Maybe two is Belshaw working the bottom in the 44. But, oh, there's contact there. That's a little more than rubbing there. That's a little beat. Lots of bang in the 44. Slides up the racetrack. Pays the price for it. The 27 of Lemanchik on the outside, and not too sure why he stopped up there pulling back out on the racetrack. Maybe needed to repair that thing. But the lights are still on. Normally when people come to a stop there on the outside, it brings out the iRacing caution. So I was a little surprised there not to see the iRacing caution. I stood there so long on the camera. Keith Kincaid looking to the bottom here, trying to put Lemanchik another lap down. You can see on the ticker, already 5 laps down. Lemanchik stay high and out of the way. Now Scott Tice going to look under, but Chris Reinold here, meanwhile, he moves himself up into third. Big pass there for the 71. Not done yet, though. Farmer, remember, slid up there 1 and 2. It was real tight on the restart. Not the normal pace. Chris Farmer's really quick. But once he's able to shake off that rust, get back into a rhythm, you got to think Farmer's going to be right there itching to get back around. That's 71 of Reinold. Oh, we had someone go over there. Tell who that was. I believe it was the 88, Dave Brill, but he got it back on the racetrack. Boy, oh boy, man. Guys slipping and sliding everywhere. He's Benjamin Gunther. He's the last car on the lead lap. That's about to change. He's going a lap down. Keith Kincaid diving underneath him. Going to slide up off the 2. Scott Tice now. He knows he needs to take a bite here quick. Doesn't want to waste time. 27 of Gunther. He's a bunch of laps down there, but he's center in. Not into the side there. Love Gunther. Going to live to tell about it. 55 had to feel that. Had to get a little bit rattled there from that battle. And what I tell you, Chris Farmer right back around up into that final podium spot. Got back into the rhythm, man. This guy's quick in the late models. He's got a lot of pace. Now he's got a lap car in front of him here. That double nickel once again. Slipping and sliding all over Farmer here. He's got to back out of it. Oh, he's going to lose that spot. Farmer oh man, you're going to be seeing red there in that 54. That's not the way you want to lose the spot. Look at the battle for the lead, heating up as we enter turn 1. Scott Tice trying to reel in that 17 here as he's got the lead cut down to about 0.6 of a second there as he clips the grass, gets the lawnmower out through 3 and 4. Looked like it was going to work there for a little bit, but got too sideways coming off at no speed. Really lost the grip there on exit, but this side-by-side battle in front of the leader continues. Rob Cassidy was battling with Dave Grill. He gets out of the way there, gets up high. Now is he going to do the same here for Scott Tice? He does. Drives it in deep up top into 3. Leaves enough room for the slider. Tice crosses up, says thanks, Robbie. Moves on. And we've got 9 laps to play. And he gets the rear end of this 17 of Keith Kincaid. Only 8 laps to go now, man. These guys are absolutely ticking them off. Elshaw running in 6th. Joe Canella's there in 5th. And you can see he's not too far off of this battle for 3rd here. So if we stay green, these 2 keep mixing it up. We may be talking to Joe after this thing if he decides to show. Joe Canella's right there. Stands a chance at this podium is Scott Tice trying to needle his way through traffic, but not doing as good of a job here as that 17 of Keith Kincaid. Keith has extended that gap. As you watch him roll the bottom here through 4 and enter in 1. Kincaid not able to get around the lap car, and that's going to help Scott Tice weave his way back in, seeing that gap fall. He's got it at the 0.6 of a second mark. Now half a second there through the center of the corner. It just doesn't have that drive off. And man, Tice, I know he thinks maybe the juice is worth the squeeze down there through 3 and 4, but the pay just hasn't really been showing. Smooth there in the middle, and he's kind of stuck here in traffic. That's all he needs. I mean, if he just keeps clicking this off, and now the 88 up and out of the way, Dave Grill says, I've kind of played into this enough here. Going to get out of the way of Scott Tice as well. We are down, man. That's sand. There's only a couple grains left. We've got 2 laps to go. As Keith Kincaid here should see the white flag this time by. Not displayed yet on our screen, but it is the white flag. And Keith Kincaid, final time through 3 and 4. He's set to get that checkered flag once more. Keith Kincaid wins at the Lernerville Speedway here in Sarmer, Pennsylvania. Scott Tice, P2. Chris Reinold rounds out the podium. Chris Farmer not able to get back around after the lap car tussle. He finishes 4th. Joe Canella's rounds out your top 5. But big win there for the 17 of Keith Kincaid. We pause this so we don't hear him drive by the line every time, but we're going to use this as the cheat rewind here. We'll see. I haven't looked at the Discord. I don't know if we have anyone. We do have anyone. We have 2 anyones. And they're the drivers. Well, Keith stuck around, but, I'll keep this other one a surprise here until we get a chance. I guess there really won't be a surprise because if you're watching your screen here, you'll get to see who that man is. I guess I could have kept the driver details down. Shucks. Well, win some, lose some. This man has been having a lot of good runs here as of late, so we'll see if Scotty is around here, the driver who finished P2. Scott, Shaggy up in the booth, man. You got a copy? I see your mic's muted. There we go. How's it going, brother?
I got you.
That looked like, man, a pretty good run, but just one of them where maybe, and that's the way it goes in racing sometimes, but maybe lap traffic not being as nice to you as it was to the leader. You'd get there, then you'd work around a lapper, but man, you were really having to fight to get around. And by that time, Keith would kind of pull away again.
Yeah, he had us covered, no doubt. Just you know, I struggled a little bit there, more than I thought I would in testing the couple nights before. But uh, yeah, Keith put it on us tonight.
Like I mean, I've called a lot of races here, man. Even did a little bit of racing here, but I normally see it go to the top shelf. Were you kind of surprised? I mean, it seemed like you especially. I mean, every now and then you'd clip the grass, and man, you'd make up some time. Were you surprised by that bottom lane, or did you know it was going to be there?
Yeah, I was when we was practicing before the race there, before qualifying. That's kind of where I wanted to focus my time on was how to get around that top and but the bottom stayed there a lot longer than what I had anticipated. But it was a really good race. These guys, you can't say enough about racing with these guys, how fun it is.
No, man, it looks like it. And I mean, to run that many laps, green flag to close out and finish within that half a second, you were right there. Anything could have happened to Keith, but well, you know the deal, man. He was smooth, held on to win that thing. But heck of a run for this 24, man. Love this paint scheme, by the way. Looks
Thank you.
amazing. It's definitely no shot at any other driver out there, but this is the nicest paint in the dirt side. So I'll issue the challenge. They can come out with something nicer here. But right now, you're the
There you
paint
go.
champ. Hell of a run, Scott. Big P2, man. You got anybody you want to thank?
Man, just want to thank MRL, those guys for having us, and Senex and this whole group is, like I said, I look forward to our Mondays and Wednesdays now, racing with these guys, on and off the track, talking to them, and thank you for what you're doing, and looking forward to Monday.
Yeah, man, and I'm looking forward to watching it because you guys have been putting on a show this season. Great job, Scott. Rooting for you the rest of the way, man.
Thank you, brother.
And we had a surprise pop up here. I didn't know we were going to have all three. Oh, I pulled him up here and then he disappeared. Huh. Well, I was going to talk to Scott. Never mind. Okay, he may have gotten stage fright. Maybe he comes back to the waiting room. Not too sure. Maybe Keith knows. Well, Keith, I don't know what happened there. I pulled him up here, then he disappeared. Maybe he'll come back, but we'll we'll do your first. Not too sure what happened there, but man, I'll tell you, you got out front. You never looked back. I don't know if you knew, but man, he was reeling you in a couple times. Keith, were you feeling the pressure?
Yeah, I knew he was back there. He keeps me honest every week. I was kind of watching him in the rearview mirror, kind of watching his lines and trying to gauge where I was losing or where I was gaining, and had to make a mid-race adjustment on my line, and it paid off for me.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna kind of ask you the same thing I asked him because I saw you work the bottom a little bit. I mean, dude, I would say, you almost say 10 out of 10 races you call here, we end up on that top side, but not tonight, man. I was really, really shocked by that. Kind of made me eat my words I said in practice. Were you surprised with how well you could still run that middle bottom, man? Even coming on this closing laps. I mean, I'm so used to rim riding
Oh, definitely. And I think what it was is we didn't have a lot of cars getting down there in the heat race and the warm up, and it just kept the moisture down there. And for the first part of the feature, it was definitely the hot line, and then it gradually moved up when we got into lap traffic. Then seemed like the line kind of moved up, and it made it a little more difficult to pass and get by a couple of those guys on the back end.
Well, I mean, at the end of the day, you know how it goes. Lap cars, they're just supposed to hold their line, and that's what they're doing. So, I mean, you had to work around them, and it did allow Scott to kind of get to you. So, were you afraid at any time? I mean, I saw you kind of make a little hiccup coming out of 4 when you were stuck behind those 2 lap cars. Were you worried at all about maybe getting a slide job going into 1, or did you know, hey, maybe not enough room in front of you and Scott isn't going to force this, or were you panicking at all when you had those mistakes?
No, I don't think I was panicking. I know Scott, and Scott's a super clean driver, a good driver. So I knew he wasn't going to force the issue if there wasn't room. And my goal was just to stay smooth and, manage that gap and, not try to overdrive it and, push the issue when it came to the lap cars.
Well, hey, man, at the end of the day, you did that. You kept this thing smooth. Not easy to keep it on the racetrack here at Lernerville, but you did it all night. Heck of a job tonight, Keith. And hopefully you can carry that momentum Monday night. I'll be rooting for you when I watch this replay. But before you get out of here, you know the drill, man. You got anybody you want to thank?
Yes, sir. Appreciate it. Yeah. As Scott said, MRL, racemrl.com. Anybody that's listening, please check them out. They have all kinds of different groups of racing. They brought the Senex group in and let us run this program this year, but they offer a wide range of racing for, different types and different levels. So definitely a great group to be involved with. And again, I'd like to thank my wife for, allowing me the time to play with my toys. So appreciate it, Shaggy.
Yeah, definitely, and you're right there with the MRL thing. Kyle over there that runs that thing. I've met plenty of people through iRacing, and man, Kyle is a top shelf dude. And they got things for absolutely everyone. So if you think you're not that good, they got a class for you. If you think you're really good, they got a class for you that'll show you you're not really good. So it's all over there. But great run, Keith, and hopefully you keep it up the rest of the season, man.
Thank you, Shaggy.
Keith Kincaid bringing home the win here. And now I think we got him here now. We got him here. We got Chris Reinhold, a P3 finisher. Chris, I'll tell you, man, you and the other Chris, you and the farmer, okay, back and forth, those last 15 laps. And you took advantage of lap traffic to get back around him for the final time, man. How important was that? I mean, you guys, it seemed like you're pretty even.
Yeah, that was pure luck. I tried and tried and tried for at least 6 or 7 laps trying to get by him, and it just couldn't make it stick.
Well, I mean, it's all about making it stick in dirt racing. It really is. And I asked these guys, in the beginning, lots of moisture left on the bottom, man. Were you surprised by that? I mean, it seemed like you guys, those first maybe 10 or so laps, you could let it eat on the bottom. I mean, I was kind of shocked to see that much left down there.
Yeah, I didn't expect that to be there at the bottom. Usually, that place usually always slicks off right from bottom right to top as the race goes on. But I don't know if it's just everybody was kind of staying a lane up that was why it still stayed kind of damp down there.
Well, yeah, it definitely made for an interesting start to the race and, well, an interesting end to it, because a lot of the lap cars you're coming up on there kind of trying to stay in that middle bottom, not necessarily as comfortable with getting up to the outside. So, I mean, how difficult was it kind of really, biding your time there, not going too early, bouncing into a lap car and ruining your race? I mean, how hard is it to be patient?
Exactly. Yeah, you had to time it. If you were coming up on a guy and you noticed that, you get up alongside of him and couldn't pull off the corner to get by him, basically you had to time it so that you could carry more speed to the apex and then just hammer it off the apex to get by him. And like Farmer was hard to get by. He kind of kept changing his entry up every lap, so it was making it really hard for me to time trying to get a throttle off the corner to pass him.
Well, hey man, you hunkered down like a rhino there on the inside. Let that thing eat and work your
Yeah.
way by him. So that's a hell of a run for you there, Chris. Looking forward to talking to you a lot more this season, man. You're becoming
Yeah, yeah,
quite
I
the
enjoy it.
Yeah, you're the constant guy on the podium here. So it's only going to be a matter of time until we're talking to you in the top
Yeah,
spot. I got a feeling.
the week before wasn't so good. I just said right. It seemed at the end of the race there, I just had bad luck and was starting. I was going to bring it off the corner, go up to the flag stand, and then chop back down. And I hit the wall at the flag stand, and that was the end of my race.
Yeah, and that is easy to do at Lincoln. You think it widens
Yeah,
up on you, man, but it really tightens up. I was there Monday night. I'm lucky enough to only live 15 minutes away from there, so I went over and
yeah.
watched it
I've
this morning.
only ever been to Yeah, I've been to Lincoln once during Speed Weeks there back about 8 years ago, and yeah, it was it's an intricate track.
Yeah, definitely. I will take my $30 and go to Lincoln any day of the week over taking my $30 and going to Williams Grove, which I was dumb enough to do again last night. It was at least a good race.
Yeah, I like Williams Grove. I'm a real big fan of Port Royal.
Oh yeah, dude, because that place it's at least so wide. You know, Williams Grove doesn't have the width. It has the speed.
Yeah,
They go really fast, but man,
yeah,
it's slide or die. Port Royal, you can run the bottom, you can drag the brake, run the bottom, or whip it around that fence up top. That's
yeah.
what makes Port Royal
The
awesome.
only thing I don't like about Port Royal is the washboard on the straightaways.
Oh yeah, yeah. On the inside there.
Yeah, because that really upsets a car when you're going down the straightaway, especially a torsion bar car.
Yep. Yeah. I guess. Well, yeah. I mean, they definitely weren't thinking of that, but I mean, it is what it is. It makes it interesting, you know.
Exactly. Yeah.
And that's what we want. And at the end of the day, Chris, you made this race interesting, man. Parked it on the
Perfect.
podium. Hell of a run. You got anybody you want to thank before you get out of here?
Hey, just all the guys from Senex. You know, we got a good group of guys that we're racing with, and for Rob and Joe for putting it on for us. So, you know, can't thank those guys enough because, like, I mean, they're taking the time to do it where a lot of people won't take the time to do it. So, yeah, hats off to those guys.
Well, hey, Chris, hell of a run, man. Good luck the rest of the way. Hopefully, I'm talking to you again next week.
Awesome. Thank you.
Chris Reinold wrapping out the podium here. Glad we got all the guys to the show. Need you to do that for the asphalt side. Come on, guys. Want to get to know you. Get to learn who you are. Well, we're going to wrap it up here on Shaggy TV. I'm going to tell my wife she can go out and swim in the pool now. I'll watch the dogs so they don't bark. Have a good rest of your Saturday afternoon. And we'll talk to you next week. Have a good one.